Ooh, this one's pretty. You guys, check out these placemats if you're wanting any like DIY materials. I feel like you could do so much with these. I'm gonna grab this white and gray placemat.
So I have to be honest, I wasn't sure if this project was going to turn out. So I started by just removing all the tags from the placemat. Next, I wanted to open up the placemat on one side. So I didn't have my seam rippers, so I used one of my Cricut tools just to rip open the seam on one side. And I find that it's best to do this with the side that they stitched last. It usually just comes up better. I'm going to open it up about halfway. I can't believe it's already over. This next part, I was a little unsure if it was going to work out or not because I had to get both of the fabrics away from each other and they kind of pressed them together, but I was able to kind of work it so that I could remove the fabrics without damaging anything. I used one of my scraper tools just kind of help me separate the fabric. Next, I'm going to be using a lumbar support pillow that I already had on hand to put inside of this placemat. I really love the fabric of this placemat and I thought it would make a great pillow for just $2. Now you could stitch this back up, but I wanted to show you how to do this so easily. So I'm just going to hot glue it together on the sides. You want to make sure that it's put together really well. If you need to add some additional hot glue, go ahead and do that as well. But look how great this looks as an accent pillow on my couch. I think it looks great either way.
So you can grab embroidery hoops at Walmart. I have an idea for an embroidery hoop DIY.
So for this project, you're going to need 2 embroidery hoops. You're also going to need yarn. This is yarn I already had on hand, and you're also going to need some beads. This is really a project you could change up with things that you had on hand. I'm going to separate the embroidery hoops because I just want to use the pieces that don't have the clamp on there. So I'm going to start by lacing on some beads with my yarn. I'm using a toothpick to help me thread the yarn through. Next, I'm going to wrap it around my larger hoop and tie it in place. But I do my best to breathe. Dreams of green and filled with this. Life is so. Then I'm going to add an additional bead and then wrap around the smaller hoop and tie that in place. I'm going to add a few more beads, tie that in place. I wanted to create a loop at the top so that I could hang this on the wall. I love creating pieces like this because you can really just change the look of it so much by adding different colored yarn or just changing the beads that you add on there. Now I wanted to make this yarn fluffy. I tried to use a hairbrush, that didn't work. So I ended up using this comb that was in one of my makeup brush sets and that worked okay, but wasn't my favorite. I kind of scrapped that look and just started adding additional yarn pieces to create a little tassel at the bottom. I didn't want to have a huge tassel, but just a little bit of yarn hanging down. I'll be fine and you'll be gone when nothing's like home. And I'll cut that off so it's even. Next, I wrapped some yarn pieces around one of my cutting mats so they were all the same size, and then I'm going to add those to the bottom of my embroidery hoop. I brushed them all out so that I could cut it at the bottom. I didn't want to cut them straight across, so I just kind of did a swoop. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.